Hey, back. Hey. Hey, back. Hey. Hey, back.
Zachariah, you look good. Better than I. As if that was hard to accomplish.
I have the parts for the prosthesis.
Now I have the parts, but what will I do with them without a quiet place to work, Zachariah? I mean, honestly, am I a magician? No. Talk to me about it once we reach Noctis.
I have the parts for the prosthesis.
Now I have the parts, but what will I do with them without a quiet place to work, Zachariah? I mean, honestly, am I a magician? No. Talk to me about it once we reach Noctis.
Sean was right. I can't open this door without another Technomancer.
Take a look. Good as new. Like she's right off the factory floor.
Okay, great. So we can get anywhere we need to go?
To the horizon and back if you need to. Zach, I need to talk to you, without the others around. Something personal.
Sorry, Amelia, but I'm already working on something right now. Can we talk later?
Zachariah, you look good. Better than I. As if that was hard to accomplish.
I brought you back what you asked for.
Oh, you found the ostrich egg cream.
No, but I found your notes on Technomancy, and I found a full kit. For Andrew, the prosthesis.
Ah, yes! The prosthesis. Give it to me. No. It shouldn't take me long. Roughly a few hours, just enough time to go through my notes. It would go even faster if you gave me a hand. You really didn't remember to bring me any cream. That's too bad.
Very well. I'll help you. Pass me the prosthesis. So, Scott, success?
Of course. These kits are rather easy to adapt to a prosthesis, and it's given me ideas. You see, we could produce prostheses with an electrical transmission system, even for non-technomancers. We would just have to...
May I?
Here.
I'd prefer if all those people weren't around.
Let's go to a quiet place. Hey, watch out!
Oh, you bought it? Don't worry, I've already messed you up enough.
You got me.
You know, not using Technomancy requires even more control, mastery. I'd completely forgotten this feeling of relaxation, peace.
Welcome back to your people, Andrew.
Thank you very much to both of you. It's so strange. I feel like I'm a new man.
You're welcome, my boy. Have fun.
Hi, Zach. How are you?
Hello, Amelia. I'm fine, thanks.
It's regarding what you found in Ophir, you know? In Scott's lab, my father's mail. I've thought about it, and I figured that we should try to find the kid. Scott's son.
Don't you think Scott tried everything to find his son? Besides, he risks reliving something he may not want to experience again.
That boy is connected to my father's disappearance, right? That's what that woman said. And look, the mutants have an almost normal life here. Scott didn't know that the city existed before. We could set up something new. What do you think? If we find out what happened to his son, we could not just bring him back here, but also find out what my dad went to do for Scott. I'm almost convinced that he was trying to bring him back his son.
All right, I'll look into it. Someone must know where to find the information regarding the new mutants.
Thank you, but I don't think Scott should know about all this for now. If something happened to his kid... Anyway, you know?
Zach, perfect timing. You remember Abby Goodman, friend of mine you helped before?
Yeah, of course. She really your friend, or all just part of the cover you had going on?
No, no, she is. She's a spy for Noctis too, though. She's actually been working on something for me and finally managed to get some info I'd been trying to get.
What information was that?
I spent a part of my life in a rehabilitation camp after my arrest in Ophir. It was the worst time of my existence, and I've always wondered how I'd ended up here. Who had turned us in? We were just a group of street kids. We would steal food here and there, but we weren't dangerous. However, we were arrested and deported to a camp like hardened criminals or terrorists. What happened followed me for many years, until I learned that an important member of the Vori clique was responsible for the deportation of dozens of people. Most of them were innocent, but a nuisance for the mob. I want to find that guy. I want to know if it's he who got us deported. I want to understand why, and make him pay. For me, and my companions, of course, but also for those poor people who hadn't asked for anything.
I understand. That man seems to be a real scumbag. I'll help you find him.
Thank you, Zach.
Zachariah, what can I do for you?
I stopped the ambush and interrogated the looters. Right all along. Victor's behind it all, and he's got a man in Noctis feeding him information. Apparently one of your merchants. They don't know his name.
A merchant? Bullshit. There's not a merchant alive here who'd betray Noctis. That being said, a man came recently. A trader who left his corporation because he said they were threatening him. He was short on details, and maybe long on lies. Bet ya he's our Mo. Trader, merchant, all the same to the people of Ophir. Not to me, though. Not to a merchant. Maybe you could pay him a visit.
We'll see what he has to say.
Welcome! Welcome. Are we looking for something in particular today?
Do I know you? From Ophir?
Ophir. Yes, the threats of the secret police forced me to leave the city.
And somehow threatened you enough that you're now working for them?
I won't be taken alive, Mancer! Stop! Stop, please! He has my family and threatened to kill him if I didn't tell him where the caravans were. I promise you. I didn't have a choice!
That's how Victor works. You have a weakness, he'll exploit it. It's a sad story, but I still can't let you live. You walk away, and what's to stop you from continuing to tell Victor anything else he wants to know about the city? Goodbye.
Zachariah, what can I do for you?
You were right. The traitor was dirty. I barely started asking before he unwound.
You're an intimidating force, Mr. Mancer. Then what?
I killed him. Figured it's too dangerous to let a spy go back to his master.
Intimidating and brutal. But not unjustly so. If you let him go, he goes with all the information about our defenses and city. And blabs. An awful task. But a worthy one, Zachariah. I owe you. Noctis owes you. And we won't forget.
always feel funny seeing the city from a distance.
That's because it looks like a big old beetle with its metal shell. Wait for a sandstorm, and you'll get to see the beetle fly. Who wants to stick around for a sandstorm? No? No takers?
Ah, home sweet home, as they would say. Though, I'm not sure who they... Oh, I do hope my clinic is still there.
No reason it wouldn't be, Scott.
But it's a wily one. My clinic, I swear, it once moved overnight.
You were just stinking drunk.
I'm getting a bad taste in my mouth. I can almost smell my people's blood and sweat from here.
I've been spending my whole life sneaking in and out of this city. Getting sick of it.
As long as Vic the Dick is around, he'll be hunting for Zach, and we'll have to keep a low profile. But if it bothers you so much, I can drop you off here.
I don't want new friends. I'd rather change our destination.
Ophir's quite ominous from a distance, like a big black tick hanging above the canyon, sucking the life out of its citizens. Sorry, was that too dark?
Captain, good to see you. I found refuge in a city that doesn't belong to Abundance, if you can believe it. But it seems that Victor managed to infiltrate it. I know I'm asking a lot from you, but if you have any information on this...
We're talking about an act of aggression toward a foreign power, and what I'm telling you is akin to treason, Zachariah. It's almost sure that Victor is preparing an attack upon our refuge city, but not with our own troops. From what I was told, he has hired mercenaries and even embedded some of his men. The craziest part of the story is that he's preparing a war without an army, with the sole goal of capturing you. At this stage, that verges on psychosis. He's obsessed with you. Watch out. He's becoming more and more vicious, and he won't stop at anything to capture you and your Technomancer colleagues.
Thank you, Captain.
pal.
Big day.
Piss off!
The day we'll meet the man who holds all of Ophir's slums in his possession. Interesting.
Mr. Mancer, the sight of your face has started to give me agita. To what do I owe the displeasure this time?
I want to know what the ASC knows about Noctis. Also, how they got the information.
I'm not one to donate information, but it's a funny story, so I'll make an exception. You see, the Prince Merchant is a smart man, but not a wise one. He forgot one important thing. The city thrives on the backs of those who lack loyalties. And mercenaries lack, among many things, loyalty to anything but the serum. Serum that is doled out quite generously by the Colonel in exchange for their undivided attention to his needs. And soon, the Zealots taking refuge in Noctis conferred their loyalties to Victor based on the concocted dreams of a free pass into heaven for their services. A parade of idiocy, from start to finish, one and all trading loyalties for their magic beans of choice. If you're looking to learn what the spies found out for the Colonel, I'm sorry to say I haven't a clue. But I do know I'd pay a tidy price to see the look on Dandolo's face right about now.
Guess we all have our little amusements. Thanks for the info. Looks like your dreams came true. Your men finally found a way into Noctis.
You don't seem happy about it. I take it old Dandolo got wind and put you on the case. Yeah, I was just thinking he'd been a little too apathetic lately. But give me some kudos, will you? With my men there, now I have access to the whole damn planet. This city's quite the wonder. And those merchants, sheer genius.
You want kudos, Anton? Maybe if your men killed a little less and thought a little more, then it would take Dandolo longer to discover who was behind the death of the merchant that refused protection. But now he knows, and he doesn't deal with threats to his people gently.
Sure. And I'm sure you made him pay for good old Dandolo. That's the game, though, isn't it? I play my part, they play theirs, and you play yours. So let's let bygones be bygones. What would you say if I sent a small group back to Noctis? I'd promise they'd keep a low profile. A foothold in Noctis grants an all-access pass to the corporations, and we'd just be shadows in the shade.
If your men keep quiet and stay out of the way, fine. But if that changes...
I'm a man of my word, Mancer. It's a done deal, on my honor. But I have one last thing for you. Victor's already set up camp in Noctis, if you need my help.
I already knew that. We've just been trying to figure out how they worm their way in, and who they are.
Well, if my men can be of any help.
You know I'll be back. Thank you, Anton. I gotta go.
Then go.
I know the ASC's in Noctis, and I bet they got in pretending to be the crew of that caravan. They gotta be embedded in the population by now, hiding in plain sight. But if they're pretending to be merchants among real merchants, that's not gonna fly too long. If they were smarter, they would have come in as refugees. Better start asking around. I'm sure folks aren't buying it. Holy shit. We come all the way to Noctis and still can't get away from Victor. How the hell did he manage to make it here? I better figure out what the hell's going on and find his spies before it's the end of us.
Say, Nisha, what are we doing?
Paying someone a visit.
Judging by your face, we're not here to rekindle an old friendship. You could have told me, you know. I'd have gone either way. I'll always be here for you.
Thanks, Andrew. That's real sweet, but I'm not too keen on elaborating on my motives. You're here with me now, and that's what really matters. Wouldn't you agree?
Who are you? And what the fuck are you doing here? This is private property, and you have no business here.
We don't give a damn about your warehouse. What we want are answers, and like it or not, you're gonna talk.
Come on, guys, get That's it! I'll tell you what you want to know.
Very well. You're the one who used to turn in people who were an obstacle to the ASC, right? The one who was sending innocents to rehabilitation camps?
No, look, it's way more complicated than that. Yeah, sure, I was in charge of making up evidence back when proof was needed to frame some of them. But with the ASC out there headhunting, now all you gotta do is send an anonymous letter to get someone deported. But most of the time, it wasn't I who was in charge of deciding who had to leave. We would get together and present those who might threaten us. It wasn't a single man's decision. Anton wasn't our chief yet.
Not most of the time, but it happened. You sent a bunch of street kids straight to a camp, and I don't see what threat they represented, so? Why? Personal vengeance? What the hell did they do to you?
Nothing, but a girl from that gang came to see me. She told me that another kid had overheard us, and she wanted to turn us in. It was believable. And since that snot-nosed kid could have talked about it with his gang, I turned in the whole group.
You're lying. It doesn't make sense. None of us would have turned in someone in the group.
I know what I'm talking about. Why would I lie to you? The kid, I think her name was Gloria.
You lie! Gloria would have never done anything like that, you son of a... You're gonna die, scumbag.
Nisha, you were that guy's victim. You're the only one who knows what to do.
Gloria. That name. No, it can't.
Andrew, shut your fucking mouth.
I'm sorry. If I, you know... Sorry.
The road to Noctis.
Hush up. As we close in on the city, I'll have to dodge a shit ton of potholes made by the fuckload of traffic. So I'm gonna need absolute concentration.
Noctis is quaint, but too businessy for my taste.
Well, it is a merchant city.
Indeed, but where's the science? Where's the progress? After all, science is the one who made all this possible. I mean, it's also the reason why we're stuck here.
When we get there, we should go say hello to Dandolo. He hates it when I don't stop by to peck him on the cheek.
I still like this city. It was the first human place where my brothers could roam free.
I didn't see many of you there, though.
So many memories over there. So many bad ones. The nostalgia of spending hundreds of hours in the unloading area, filling and emptying Marcello's sand sails. Is nostalgia the right word? Because past aside, it feels like home now.
Most exotic goods on the planet. All here, in one stall.
I'm looking for information about a caravan that recently came back from Ophir.
Ah, yes. Yes. The merchants who aren't, you mean? Yes, I know the caravan's chief. And, yeah, the one who came back kinda looks like him, but sure as hell doesn't act like him. This might sound crazy, but seems to me all those merchants were replaced with... I don't know, but they're not from here. And instead of selling their goods, they're busy asking around about the guards and stock and that sort of thing.
Can you point them out to me?
I could, but I won't. I don't want any involvement. I don't want to be replaced. I'll just tell ya, they've been regular clients since they came back.
Fair enough. I'll just keep an eye on your clients for a while. Thank you.
Hey, the matcher's back. Hell do you want?
What do you know about any ASC in Noctis?
Dangerous question. Victor bought himself some mercenaries. They're here, and I doubt they're just running bakeries. Nah, they're making trouble, watching. Sure, they're armed, just in case he ever decides to attack. Hey, the matcher's back. Hell do you want?
It's about the girls who disappeared.
Yeah, fine. I hope that you took great care of the scumbag who smoked our buddies. You found the broads?
Actually, yes. And they're sending me to pay their debt. He's dead. It's over. You're free now.
Thank you. You can't imagine how much better we feel now. You hear that, girls? We're gonna be able to live finally.
Welcome, welcome. What's your pleasure? What are you looking for?
Hey, did you by any chance see a caravan come back from Ophir lately? Would have had some members who might have looked different than they did when they left.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And there are no regular merchants, that's for sure. They've been trying to blend in, imitate our accents, clothes, all that. But not that well. They try damn hard, though. What happened to the real merchants? No, forget it. I don't even want to know. It scares the hell out of me. Rather not know.
Fair enough. Thanks.
Repent! We won't have access to the Blue Paradise so long as we are not all absolved of our sins. You came here to wash your soul?
I had something else in mind. I'm wondering if any of your parishioners have started acting bizarre.
You dare to come ask me questions? You dare to come see me while you still have my child's blood on your hands? You are a monster! A diabolical creature who thinks he is a divine judge! Get out of here!
Listen, preacher, we might have significant differences, but I'm sure that you only want the best of your flock. And I heard that a man from Abundance has tampered with some of them in order to conquer this city. I guess that he spoke badly about me because he knows that I'm against this invasion. I've seen too many people suffer from the war. And in addition to that, Abundance does not tolerate public temples, which would put an end to your lectures.
An invasion? Really? By the shadows! That old son's henchman hadn't told me that. And my temple? You're saying that they're forbidden there? How awful! I must stop that evil being! Send him back to roast under the nefarious beams of his master! I'm surprised his servants weren't mutants. But maybe they were in disguise. More pressing, however, is it that these servants have convinced some of my followers and now have come here to tempt me. Do not worry. The shadow has opened my eyes to save my soul. But has it done so for my followers? The mutation is preparing to make its way towards them. A pity.
Can never be too careful with religious types, so I'll have to keep an eye on these folks. They can spread ideas like wildfire. Is there anything noteworthy happening right now?
We are stained with the blight of immorality, and it spreads like disease. Serum, meant for our poor and refugees, has been stolen from our temple. May the shadows guard us. I had to hire mercenaries to protect the holy precinct. May the sun turn his burning eye away from our sins. Having armored men guarding a temple? But how can we protect our poor resources from the greed of those Vori roaming our streets? How can we do it without threatening to create a bloodbath?
I guess that you'd like me to recover that serum for you.
You would be blessed 3 times over if you did it. However, if you're looking for me, don't approach the temple. Those mercenaries are thugs, and they shoot anyone who gets too close. I'm afraid they took my orders too seriously.
So we know the spies are embedded in certain groups, but to find out who the spies are, can't do it on...
Greetings, Zachariah.
I'm gonna need everyone's help. ASC's infiltrated Noctis, and as you already know, that's not a good thing.
We just got away from them. Why can't they just leave us alone? What? What do you want us to do about it? Most of us are terrified of them. They're immune to our powers.
I understand your frustration and your fear. I wasn't there, and don't even want to imagine what they put you through. But we don't back down from fear. We're military. We fight. And I will be damned if we will back down from a few fucking ASC spies with lightning rods.
I hope you can see our secret's at risk. But I agree, the best defense is a strong first attack. If we hide and wait for them, we put our secret even more at risk. So what do you propose we do?
From what I can tell, the spies have weaseled their way into 3 groups, but we can't move until we know which members are from the ASC. Moles disguise themselves as mercenaries, religious zealots, and even merchants.
Then I'll dispatch some eyes to keep tabs on those groups.
Thank you.
You know how lucky we are that your Technomancer friends are gonna help us? It's terrifying to know how many groups were infiltrated. The damage they could do could bring Noctis to its knees. You really think Victor's gunning for control of the city?
He just thinks it's an obstacle he can eliminate with the sweep of a hand.
Then he's misjudged the...
Zachariah, what can I do for you?
So I went out to see if there's any Vori in the city.
Can I put my mind at ease now?
They're out. Put your worries to rest. I really doubt Anton will send any more our way.
Fantastic. That is an enormous weight off my chest, Zachariah.
How this dome will match up to the one in Ophir.
The one in Ophir? That was your Technomancer hideout, right? I was always curious, but I wasn't allowed near it. Due to confidential shit.
Yes, it used to be some sort of museum. It was a fascinating place.
Looks more like a pile of rocks to me. Let's hope this other one is in better shape. Otherwise, that doohickey thingamajig you're looking for will be really hard to find.
If the dome is really off the grid, then it could still be in good condition. But we should be ready for anything. The scavengers could have beat us to the punch and scrapped and sold it. How big is it? Should we be able to spot it from afar?
I wouldn't bet on it. If I understood correctly, there'll be some small housing domes. But what we're interested in is the archives of these ancient inhabitants.
Heritage. What a funny little... The offspring of those who built the dome probably reside in our cities. Or perhaps even one of us is a great... And yet here we are, chasing after old ruins so we can rummage for answers on our ancestors. How remarkably absurd, isn't it?
We have the turmoil to thank for that.
I find humans' curiosity towards the domes curious. Why do you pursue them and other artifacts with such zealotry?
I don't want to be mean, Phobos, but as a mutant, you've become something else. Isn't it hard to keep revering something that brings back memories of those who used and exploited you?
Yes, but no matter what happens, Earth is a forbidden fruit, and for that, we choose to forge ahead and not dawdle in the past.
I can't wait to see it. I've never seen an intact colonial dome. There are only a few ruins in the canyon leading to Noctis, and they are in such a terrible state. Most are so badly destroyed that you'd need a pretty strong imagination to call them domes.
This is the famous dome in the sands. What do you hope to find here, Zack? You never did tell me what you were hoping to find in these ruins.
I made a promise, a vow as a Technomancer, that I'd find a way to contact Earth. So finding a beacon would mean... everything.
Hell of a vow, Zack. Usually I only make promises I know I can keep. But I admire the persistence in the impossible. Though I'm not sure there's a beacon here, this dome doesn't look particularly important.
So you hope to find traces in there? Clues on the next step to communicate with Earth? Incredible. It's definitely a long shot, but one worth taking.
If we find evidence of the scientific base of the Great Master's tablet mentioned, I think we can make contact with Earth. And if not me, another Technomancer someday will.
Even so, it's a dream. Equal parts fascinating and... Do you really think they still want us? Especially since...
Can't do this.
boxes? There's some plates inside, and I'm not talking about the kind you eat dinner on. They look like but feel really dense. I wonder what it was for. See those boxes? There's some plates inside, and I'm not talking about the kind you eat dinner on. They look light, but feel really dense. I wonder what it was for. See those boxes? There's some plates inside, and I'm not talking about the kind you eat dinner on. They look light, but feel really dense. I wonder what it was for.
A Technomancer gate. Gonna need your help, Andrew.
Then my help's what you'll get, buddy.
Rogue in the flesh. Guess some rumors are true after all. Time to take out the trash. Kill them all!
Abundance couldn't make a better servant than that one. Nice, talkative, ambitious, and perfectly brainwashed.
Sadly, he's less brainwashed than stupid. The type that's submissive to any kind of power, right or wrong. Let's get out of here. This tablet's obviously ancient, but the text's undecipherable. This'll make for one hell of a translation job. Great Master Ian's the only one who could have read it. Maybe Dandolo's heard of another Technomancer who could, though. Can't believe Alan was here.
Talk about climbing the corporate ladder, right? That fucker's now the alpha Technomancer of abundance.
How can he vouch for Victor, the man who caused the death of our great master? I knew Alan was ambitious, but to that extent?
There will always be men who will sell out for phony rewards. Give him a medal, a pompous title, and he'll ask you where and when to turn in his mother. This infection of uncurbed greed happens even among mutants. Just look around. You've seen the pen. Some of the Guardians are mutants themselves. And they can be the harshest of them all, disciplining for the sake of breaking in their batons.
You taught your rival a lesson. Now we should know better than to run after you.
If I know Alan, it'll only get worse.
At least we found some information, even if we can't read it. How's your ancient hieroglyphics, Zach?
No, I can't. Nobody I know can, except Great Master Ian. It's a coded language that's nearly impossible to learn.
Dandolo will find you a translator. Let's hope it's worth it, and not something boring like a soup recipe.